Today is the election, baby. Who determined who's going to be good for crypto or not? Kamala or Trump, or maybe a third party? Let's go to Cointelegraph and figure out the details. What's going on, y'all? You're now watching the greatest channel that has ever existed. My name is Bitcoin Benito, and I truly appreciate you guys for being here with me. So I have been missing for a pretty long time because I've been preparing for interviews, and the job market for software developers is a lot harder than it used to be. I don't care what the markets say. I don't care what the news say, that there's a bunch of jobs available. Maybe there are, but they're not hiring, or they're what they call zombie jobs. And it's very difficult to find a job right now. I hate my current job, so I'm trying to find a better one. And it's been damn near impossible to find a job that is good in software development. And this is the same way with the wider market. It's very hard to find jobs. And this is a problem, but I will continue to make more videos, and I'm going to be doing some street interviews, more street interviews. You guys love those interviews. Today I'm going to be going to Georgetown University, which is a slightly expensive university to attend to. Personally, I think that unless you're doing STEM, you should not be going to universities at all. But the fact that they charge this much and they are not necessarily heavily STEM based, even though they have a very powerful and good hospital, but they're not really necessarily a STEM school. It means that most people are wasting their money. Instead, you should be trying to start a business. If you don't want to do STEM, you should be trying to start a business, take that money from the business, put it into crypto, and then become a millionaire and multimillionaire within the next 1 to 4 years. It's pretty much guaranteed, right? Instead of spending 4 years on your degree, you become a millionaire in 4 years. If you start a business, put the vast majority of the money into crypto, watch it grow, sell it in the end of 2025 or the end of 2029, right? So it's guaranteed to win. Anyways, before that, let's get to some of the comments that I have from my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. Would not be here without you. First comment that we have is from 𝐅𝐢𝐧𝐝 that says, LOL, I'm so stupid it hurts. Crypto in 2024, even Bitcoin might be gone in 2025. I don't know how many times we have to go through this. Bitcoin and crypto is not going anywhere. Bitcoin has now been out for 16 years and it has grown 3 million % in those 16 years. What else do I have to tell you? Right now, today, it's over $70,000 and it's only going to continue to grow until the end of 2025. What the hell are you doing? I'm giving you a gold mine and you refuse to dig for the gold. You only have yourself to blame. Next comment that we have is from Psychedelic Tacos that says, Pulsechain sucks, bro. Just admit it, it sucks. Pulsechain has been growing dramatically. Let's see. In the past 3 months, Pulsechain has been growing, what is that? By about 20-30%. Pulsechain it is kind of suck. It is still below the sacrifice price. But the fact that Pulsechain has been growing dramatically in the past 3 months and has been, kind of sort of steady, negative 30% in the past year, means that it's not going anywhere. The entire market started to grow again, for sure, specifically in the past 3 months or so. And just like the wider market has been growing in the past 3 months, Pulsechain has also been growing in the past 3 months. So it's following the market. Nothing is going to change. It's going to do great. Next comment that we have is from 𝐿𝐺𝐴 that says, I am not a human being. This was wow. Yes, this is about a very, very old video that I did, which was about Pulsechain and how you can get free Pulsechain tokens. Pulsechain will continue to make money. What I tell people to do is to invest in Pulsechain and then go to the liquidity pools or liquidity farms so you can make 30% on top of your Pulsechain that you already have. You do a liquidity pool of Pulsechain versus Hex on Pulsechain, or Pulsechain versus the incentive token on Pulsechain, and you'll make about 30% more of your money instead of you just making the regular growth that happens on Pulsechain by itself through the end of 2025. And this regular growth is just going to be 100% or 100x, 100 times the all-time low of Pulsechain. That's my prediction, and I'm sticking to it, and it's still looking like it's going to be that way by the end of 2025. Next comment that we have is from Xen Crypto that says, the Christmas salary will be invested in TitanX. Kidding. I'm well invested and looking forward to a bright future. I think he means bright future. I think you should put your entire Christmas salary into TitanX. Put it into the other cryptos that I also talk about. Pulsechain, also 𝐿𝐷𝐼𝐳. But yes, TitanX has been absolutely exploding. It's only going to continue to grow. You put your entire Christmas salary. Let's say that your Christmas bonus or salary or whatever is $4,000. By this time next year, that $4,000 will be like $30,000, $40,000. There's no reason why it will not be that way. It's only going to explode. Okay. And then finally, the last comment that we have is from Wanda Balhala that says, you should have asked why would she do it if the guy was broke but ambitious. He was hustling, but things weren't happening versus the risk douche. And I don't ask these questions because you know that people are always going to give the politically correct answer in a public interview, unless they're like really brave or they don't really care what people think about them, or they have strong balls, or they're strong in their convictions like me. They're going to just give the politically correct answer. So of course, and especially this is about a women, this is a question that's going to be directed to women. They're all going to say, I want to pick the broke, ambitious guy. All of them. Almost none of them are going to say, I want to pick the rich douche. Like, what's the point? And then Jenster says, well, why rich douche? Rich douche. No personality traits. I can't even talk right now. No personality traits were brought up on either side. Ambition can be lacking in wealthy people also. They inherited it or made it very easily. That's true. I wouldn't choose someone ugly, but I also wouldn't choose someone broke and ambitious, but an asshole to me. Of course, yes. That's the same way that most people will respond. And that's why I asked the question specifically the way that I asked it, because it is a question that you have to think about. And it's a question that doesn't necessarily have a right answer. For clarity's sake, my question was formulated that would you pick a rich guy that you were not attracted to, or would you pick a guy that you are very attracted to, but he has no ambition whatsoever and he's going to continue to make minimum wage for the rest of his life? Okay, so let's get into Cointelegraph, where they talk about the election. Today is the election. Today's November 5th. We're going to find out a slight idea of who's going to win by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Although this election is extremely close, so it might take a couple days. It might even take a couple of months like it did in 2020. Yes. Oh, sorry, in 2000 when we had Bush versus Gore. Okay, so Cointelegraph says, follow Cointelegraph's live updates in 2024 U.S. election and its potential impact on crypto, regulation, markets, and future digital assets. Okay, so this is going to be a bunch of articles. I'm just going to go through them, slightly explain them, see how they affect the crypto market. Okay, so the first article is Trump win confirmed. Jim Cramer says markets predict Harris win. Okay, so personality Cramer has indirectly signaled a victory for former United States President Donald Trump in 2024 election. Cramer reviewed the stock market performance and said that the moves reflect growing investor confidence in victory for Kamala Harris. And the reason why, even though he says Kamala Harris is going to win and it proves that Trump win is confirmed, is because some investors are taking Cramer's Harris prediction as a sign of a Trump victory due to a phenomenon known as the inverse Cramer effect, which sees the opposite outcome of Cramer's predictions come to pass. Yes, Cramer is a very famous guy. He's on MSNBC. He does things on the stock market, but his predictions are usually very terrible. He's always hated Bitcoin, except for recently when Bitcoin became undeniable. That's why that last person that said that crypto was going to be gone by 2024 or 2025 doesn't know what he's talking about. Even Cramer disagrees with you. Cramer knows and thinks and knows that Bitcoin is going to be around forever. So in an inverse type of way, because Cramer thinks that Harris is going to win, many investors think that Trump is going to win, and because Trump is on the Republican side and Trump is usually good for investors and businesses, that means that crypto is going to therefore do well in the immediate future, in the next few months. Next article says that Bitcoin's price outlook hinges on the 2024 U.S. election. Exactly the same. Bitcoin could see a heightened price volatility following the U.S. presidential election, but some analysts view this as a positive development for its price trajectory. Now, the good thing about volatility is that if you put your investments into liquidity pools, you make lots of money based off of the trading fees. Okay, I did a video on liquidity pool farming a few weeks ago. Go back and look at my videos. I talk about that. And because people are trading for Bitcoin, using their dollars for Bitcoin, or taking their Bitcoin out and then trying to get dollars back, and then that changes from day to day because it goes up and down and down and up, and it's all crazy. Because of that, you, investor into these liquidity pools, will make tons and tons of profit because of people's inability to make a certain assertive decision. So this holiday season, take advantage of people's insecurity. Okay. Let's continue to reading. Bitcoin could benefit from a victory by former President Trump, who is generally viewed as more pro-crypto candidate. Yes. In my own prediction, I think that Trump has a 60% chance of winning and Kamala has a 40% chance of winning. So because he is heavily into crypto, or at least he's favored crypto way more than Kamala, if he wins, Bitcoin will shoot through the roof. If Kamala wins, Bitcoin will probably crash because people think that Kamala is bad for the economy. And people think that Democrats are bad for the economy unless we are currently going through a nasty recession or even a depression, right? So the reason why people thought that Obama was good for the economy is because we were going through a terrible recession, the Great Recession in 2008. And he came through and he had many promises to fix the economy. And he did fix the economy in 2008, right? So that's why the stock market increased. However, although we're going through a mini recession right now, or a hidden recession right now, if Kamala comes through, we will see a drop in the price of the stock market. She has been allowing tons and tons of migration through the southern border. I don't care if she doesn't call herself the border czar. She was in charge of the border. And when you have tons and tons of people come through the southern border or through any of your borders, your job market automatically tanks, and therefore you suffer from the job market, and therefore your economy suffers. Okay. To be honest, I don't know why Democrats allowed the border to be wide open. There's no benefit from the Democratic standpoint. I think they do it because they want to be seen as non-racist against Hispanics. But even Hispanics do not want a crazy influx of undocumented illegal immigrants. They want an influx of legal immigrants, because when the immigrants are legal, they're usually people who are harder working, who are more law-abiding, right? Because if you come here illegally, the first thing that you did when you came to this country was break the law, right? This is not me being one-sided or whatever. This is just facts. This is just 100% true. If you come here legally, you're more likely to be a more upstanding citizen and therefore create more wealth for this country. And by proxy, you create more taxes for the government. So it's a win-win for everybody, right? So Bitcoin's price was just shy of $200, shy of logging an all-time high ahead of the election when it rose to $73,600 on October 29th. Yes, the all-time high of its highest since March. Okay, so it got really, really close to all-time high about a week ago. I think the all-time high was about 76,000, and it's like $3,000 less than that, something like that. Okay, so next article that we have is U.S. Bitcoin ETFs notched the second largest daily outflow on election eve. What? What does this mean? United States-based spot Bitcoin, okay, so there's now a spot ETF for Bitcoin, recorded their second biggest day of outflows. So people are terrified of Bitcoin. Oh no, I don't know what's going to happen with the election, so let me hold on to the dollar. Even though Bitcoin is definitely way more powerful than the dollar over the next 12 to 13 months. Okay, recorded the second biggest outflow ever of Monday, November 4th, the eve before America headed off to vote. The 11 spot ETFs had a net outflow of $541 million on Monday. Okay. It was the largest outflow day the ETFs have seen apart from May 1st, when they recorded $563 million. And after Bitcoin fell 10%. Okay, so anytime people don't believe on risky assets, and Bitcoin is still viewed as a risky asset, even though it's not, people start to do the outflows away from Bitcoin, okay? So Bitcoin's price crashed on May 1st, and people thought that Bitcoin is very risky, so they took their money out. And now that people are like, oh, maybe Kamala Harris will win, or more, oh no, maybe Trump is going to win, and I think Trump is bad for the economy, they pull their money out of Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin has declined 4.6% over the last 7 days to about 68,000 as traders trim exposure to risk assets, crypto ahead of November 5th. With uncertainty around who will win, just like I said, as Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are essentially tied in the polls. The funny thing is that today, Bitcoin is doing amazingly well. Bitcoin is up about 2%. Everything is up. Everything is green. All the major coins are up. They're green today. The only one that's red right now is Tether, which is a stable coin pegged to the dollar. But everything's up is green. If I go to my portfolio, and by the way, these are the coins that I think that you should get. These are my top 12 or 15 coins that I think you should get. All of them today are doing very well. Green, 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 green. Xen is only down 0.1%. Hex is down 1%. But everything else is green, 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 green. Look at that. Mother by 𝐂𝐫𝐲𝐸 is up 11%. And then Swift Coin, I'm going to do a video about Swift Coin. Swift Coin is up 21%. So get into crypto. So Trump and Harris make a final push across the battleground states. Yes, yes, yes. Trump is more favored towards crypto. So if he wins, that's going to be good for crypto. Although Kamala Harris has supported crypto because she needs the male demographic, and men are more likely to get into crypto. Men are more willing to take risk. And because Bitcoin is viewed as a risk asset, more men are heavily into crypto. This is not a bad or good thing. This is a genetic thing. Men tend to live a shorter time because we're more likely to take risk. But if you're lucky in this risk, your risk way, way, way benefits the negativities if your risk ends up being positive. Women are more risk averse, and this is why they tend to live longer, but they do not receive the benefits of taking a risk, and therefore having this is not good, this is not bad, this is just the way human nature works, and it has benefited our species more than any other species out right now. This is why we are the apex predators, and this is why you are not being eaten by a saber-toothed tiger right now, because we pretty much made saber-toothed tigers extinct by overhunting them. That's how crazy we were 10,000 years ago or whatever. Okay, and that's it. I'm tired of talking about this election. Me personally, I am not voting. Oops, was I supposed to not say that out loud? I'm not voting because I think that they're both pretty much bad. I think that Trump is better than Kamala, right? Because I used to be like a normal Democrat 10 years ago, but the Democratic Party has lost its entire fucking minds, and they are no longer Democratic anymore. Anyone with like common sense, regular Democratic ideals or liberal ideals is now viewed as a hard right Republican in the past 10 years. And this increases the division between the both parties. I'm not voting for Trump because he is a pathological liar, and he has raised the deficit to a ridiculous amount. But the Democrats have also raised the deficit to a ridiculous amount also. They've raised the deficits. Both sides have raised the deficit trillions of dollars. Okay? I'm not voting for Harris because of three main reasons. The Democratic Party is very censorship, and they've lost their minds when it came to COVID, and I don't forget that. I had a job that was 100% remote, and they required me to get a COVID vaccine, even though I was never, ever, ever going to step foot into the office ever. Okay? Reason number two is that they do not live in reality. If I were to ask them what a woman is, I live a few miles away from the U.S. Capitol. So if I were to walk up to the U.S. Capitol and ask any Democrat what a woman is, they would not be able to give me an answer, even though this is a question that any 6-year-old can answer. And they all know the answer. You know, a woman is an adult human female. They already know this. And in fact, every Democrat would have answered that a woman is an adult human female just 10 years ago. But because of the woke mind virus, they have all lost their fucking minds, and they cannot answer a very simple question, right? And this is nothing against trans people or gay people or all that good stuff. I know a few gay people. The funny thing is that most gay people actually agree with me. If you don't know what a woman is, you can't even define what a lesbian is, right? So how is this helping the LGBT community? It's insane. And then finally, kind of related to that, They just want to blame everything on identity politics. Is really annoying. Yes, there are problems with race, although race is a minor problem now. I'm speaking this as a black man. I know people are going to call me Uncle Tom, but yes, there's still racism. But the main problems in life are of your own doing. You didn't get that job because you didn't study 40 hours for the job before you did the interview, even though most jobs, you only have to study like 1 or 2 hours. Why do you have to study 4 hours? Who cares? Work harder than everyone else. A lot of the problems in your life are because of your own choosing. If you're fat because you eat too many calories and you don't go to the gym a lot. Yes, your genetics may play some part in it. So that means that you're going to have to eat it. If your genetics are bad, then that's not your fault. That means that you're going to have to eat 1750 calories instead of a regular person that can eat 2000 calories. Okay? Eat 1750 calories. And because of that, people tend to become lazy. They tend to view themselves as weak, and they tend to not want to strive for greatness. Me, I'm striving for greatness right now. I just did some street interviews, so that was really popular, even though it was terrifying to do these street interviews. Even though they're very safe, nothing bad happened. Everybody liked me. But it was terrifying because, what if a police officer comes over and like tells me to cancel my interview? That means that I'm going to have to find a new place. I'm going to waste like another hour. Okay, so what? I'll find a new place and I have to waste another hour. What if someone doesn't like the question that I'm asking and they shout at me? Okay, they'll be shouting at me. I mean, they're not going to attack me. They're not going to beat me up, but they'll shout at me and they'll call me mean names, even though my questions are very nice. They're going to shout at me and call me mean names and all that stuff. And it'll be a little bit embarrassing to the people around me, but then I'll just excuse myself. I'll be like, okay, fine. Sorry for asking questions. I'll talk to another person and I'll move on. Nothing bad is going to happen to me, even though it's terrifying. But because I'm brave enough to do these street interviews, I'm therefore able to get a lot of views on this channel. I've made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on this Bitcoin Benito channel. I've pretty much lost money since I've come out with this channel. I started off making a few interviews, 1 or 2 or 3 videos every month when I came out with this in 2020. And now I have about 1,000 videos on this channel. And I've lost money in the long run on this. I lost like maybe $1,000, $2,000, but I spent hundreds of hours working on this channel. And now I have, almost 4,000 followers now. So what I'm saying is that everything in life, you have to work hard for it, okay? I estimate that my channel is going to grow dramatically over the next 12 months because Bitcoin is going to grow dramatically. But that's okay because I want greatness to happen, okay? So I'm telling you this because I thank you, I love you, I appreciate you. This is a really long video. Let's get this money.